Good evening, good morning, good day, wherever you are in the world. And thank you once again. We're back. We're back. Sorry that we missed the last couple of weeks. Did you miss us? That's the question. Did you miss us? I hope you did. Let us know right in the chat box. Uh, Tony's back in the background. You can hear Tony, the producer. So if you do hear any weird noises going off, you know that it's him that's doing that. Let us know where you are in the world. Chat away on the box. Let me know that I'm not just talking to myself. I am expecting a few extra people, a few new people in today. And I'll let you know why. And some of you will probably already know why, but I'll tell you about that shortly. So yeah, it's great to be back. So sorry that we missed the last couple of weeks. We just had, as this guy's doing now, Robert, he's coming out for next week's tour. So yeah, we had a tour last week that was absolutely fantastic. So unfortunately, I did have to cancel it. But even though we're still doing a tour next week, I am actually still going to be doing a webinar, just a slight change of day. So I will tell you all about that in a second. So if you are new to this, and as I say, hopefully we're going to get a few new people in for the simple reason that there was a little bit of extra publicity coming in from CNN, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a second. Okay, so we're getting people coming in from YouTube. Tony, I can actually see the numbers for a change tonight. I'm not sure how many's in from Facebook, but yeah, let us know. Let us know how. Dan saying, "How David? How's the liver?" Is that because I went back to the UK last week, or do you just know me anyway? Anyway. That's thrown me a little bit, that one. Yeah, let us know. Let us know if you're new to the channel, and please stick with us every single week while we do this. Usually on a Thursday. Next week there's going to be a slight change because of the tour, but yeah, join us every single week where we talk about everything to do with buying a property in Italy and restoring and all that kind of thing. Let me just tell you a little bit about what's happening. What am I going to tell you? Next week's webinar. Let me get that out of the way. Can I just take over the screen, Tony, for a second? Because next week we are going to be doing, when I find it, I'm all out of sync with this now. I don't know how anything works anymore. Everything's changed. I'm sure Tony's moved everything around. Anyway, next week, next Tuesday, Meet the Home Buyers Revisited with Barbara from Texas. Now, people are going to be saying, who's Barbara from Texas? Why is Dave written Barbara from Texas? Well, what I'm going to say is, let me see if I can just put this little photograph on, see if anybody recognizes this photograph. Barbara is the person on the right. Some of you may well have seen it on CNN, and also now or on the CNN website, and now lots of other newspapers all over the place, because Barbara moved from Texas on her own. She listened to our webinars, our live streams for a long period of time, and then decided to make the move out here. And obviously we took care of everything. Barbara very, very kindly mentioned us on the CNN interview, and yeah, what a response. Oh my word. All of a sudden, lots of I mean, we get lots of emails anyway, but an extra amount of emails just before the weekend, or at the weekend, I can't remember who it was. So hopefully we're going to have a few new viewers from this little bit of publicity. And the great thing is Barbara's coming back on again. We've already done a live stream with her once, but it's almost a year now since we did that. And she's going to come back on next Tuesday. She's going to give us an update on her newfound stardom. She only actually lives couple of kilometers down the road from me, but that's going to be a great one next Tuesday, because it's a brilliant story. She's a great person, and we're jumping in and getting the real Barbara, and not just people like CNN. That, they get the stories, but we get the real person here. So make sure you tune into that one next Tuesday, because it's going to be great. You're going to find out where she bought, why she bought there. We're going to have a look at her house, and then get an update of how life's been living here on her own in the countryside in my town called Palombara. So that's going to be a great one. That's next Tuesday. And then after that, let me just, how do I get rid of this now? There it is. And then after that, I can't believe I was going to let you know the next couple that we're going to do, next couple of live streams that we're going to do. We're actually into November. Can you believe what on earth is happening? it can't be nearly that time already. So yes, I'm going to be putting November program on next week, so you'll know everything that's going to be going off throughout November, and I'll let you know all about that, as I say, next week. Tonight's live stream is we are talking about Kate is saying finally back to the live stream. Thank you very much. So tonight's live stream, I'm ready. What next? This one is a little bit different. I've just been talking actually to the producer about it before we started doing this, just to I'm making him sound professional to Tone, and we all know he is, because I'm not sure how this one's going to go tonight, for the simple reason that there's going to be a plug for our services. Obviously, I like to do a little cheap plug every now and then, but there's still so many people that don't know what we do, and there's still so many people that are not sure how we can help in everything, and what they should be doing now. And I want to go through a little bit of what we actually do, how we can help you, and when you are ready, and the things that we're now going to be doing and changing on our website and all of the rest of it. So it's going to be a bit of self-plugging, but I think it's quite an important one. And what I really, really, really would like from you guys tonight is a little bit of input, not just on the chat tonight. I'm going to be asking you how you think I should do things, but also on email, because it's really important, because we're creating this community. I feel that the YouTube channel is one thing. These Thursday nights are another thing. We're getting great numbers coming in, and that's increasing. And it's fantastic to hear from the same people. Gary came on a trip last week. Good to see you, Gary. That's our resident DJ. I just can't remember the name of his radio station now. Right, tell us it again, Gary, and we'll give it another little plug. He's got the perfect voice for radio. That's just completely thrown me off. Anyway, so yeah, it's all. I need to explain to people how things are working, how we're going to do things in the future, because to me that is really, really, really important. Another one from the tour, Lilybell 264. Great tour last week. Thank you so much. So these people writing about tours, people are going to be thinking, what is this? I'm going to quickly mention that. So these tours, basically, we're going to start running them from next year. Tony, if I can just take over the screen a second. From next year, we're going to be doing these at least every 2 months, but potentially every month. The tours basically are 2-day events, but we have the evening before the first day where we have an aperitivo together. We have a chat about what's going to happen. And then we have 2 full days tours where we look at properties to suit all budgets, lots of different towns and villages. They're held with, now we're doing a maximum of 25 people is the maximum. So the good size group to make some friends. And this last tour, I mean, they a fantastic group. And the great thing is, people still keeping in touch afterwards. After the tour had finished, people were still in Pescara, sort of getting together and all that. And that's a really, I think it's a fantastic thing myself. And I said they were a brilliant group. So it's great in the sense of you've got a bit of support between yourselves. Obviously, you get to know us better. It's just a great way to view properties, even if you're not quite ready to buy yet. You're in the I just want to go and see what it's like sort of stage. Or if you are ready and you're looking to buy, it suits absolutely everybody. So next year, unfortunately, the January one, I added some extra seats onto it. There's only 1 seat left on January. Let me get on the March one, there is 4 left. So January, just 1. March, there's 4. May, there's plenty of spaces left. I think there's about 7 or 8 gone. So there's about 17 or 18 spaces left on May, which I know is quite a way in advance. So I'm sure those spaces will go quickly. So if you are interested, send us an email to info@ahomeinitaly.com, which is down the bottom there. Or you can go onto the website, which is www.ahomeinitaly.com, and go onto the tours section. And you'll see information there. There's also a PDF about it all. They're just great things. And it's for me, it's a new way of looking at areas, looking at properties, and this is part of the conversation we're going to have tonight. It should help so many different people at so many different stages. So have a look at those. I've only put dates up to May up to now, but we are going to be doing dates in September, October, and possibly November as well, or September into in October, something like that. But there'll definitely be autumn or fall, as some of you call it, dates as well. But they'll probably go on towards the end of the year. Okay, so that's that out of the way. What other notices have I got to say, Tony? I've done the. Oh yeah, let me just show you a quick clip from the tour, because I found this quite amusing on the last day. There are a couple of videos on YouTube that you can go on just to see what we did a couple of the days, and I'm going to be doing. I'll be doing more of those videos next week when we do the next tour. Good to see Tony on board. Did not see him on the tour videos last week. Well, we don't. We like to keep him out of the way. He's always hanging around somewhere, talking away to somebody. So yeah, no, we didn't. We may see him on next week's one. Just want to show you a little glimpse, because this was in the middle of Chieti, and everybody I think by now knows my catchphrase for when I'm describing a property or describing an area. I'm sure everybody knows that it's stunning. And I just thought, this is the group in the center of Chieti. I think people thought we were completely nuts. Let me just play you this this little bit. This is on YouTube, so you can watch it, but just listen to these crazy people in the middle of Chieti. Second, I need to do some really cheap publicity now. Right. So I want you to really think about this now. So if you had to describe Abruzzo in one word, think about it in one word. After 3, give me that one word. 1, 2, 3. Sunny! And there you go, folks. People are going to think, how fantastic this group they were. It was a really good laugh. That was just a quick glimpse of some of the madness that goes off on the tours. And what's on the tours stays on the tours. That's how we like to keep it. No, I'm making it sound a bit strange now, aren't I? So yeah, it is a great way. Make sure you have a look. Unfortunately, the early ones of next year are pretty much full, but you can still get on the May ones. So there's definitely plenty on the May, and May is a great time of year. We were going to do one in June, but it gets a little bit hot in June time, so I don't think that's going to happen. AJ's Drew, I found your channel via CNN. Superb. Welcome to it. I'm so the response from that CNN thing was absolutely fantastic. And yes, Dave, the CNN traffic is absolutely superb, but it is a great story. So don't miss Barbara live on here. Nobody else has got Barbara. We've got her next Tuesday. So no, it's a great story, just like all the Meet the Home Buyers are. That we tend to do quite often. So yeah, we're going to be doing some of those Meet the Home Buyers as well next month and in December, and so on and so on. Okay, guys, so let's get on to tonight's subject. So as I said, this one's a little bit different to the other things, because I really need to get to a point where people understand us, people understand what we're trying to do and the rest of it. And I've got to be honest with you, I worked, a lot of you probably already know that I worked, we worked, myself and my wife, we run this business, and we worked with an estate agent. We were founder members of an estate agency here in Abruzzo. That was 17, 18 years ago when we started doing that, and everything, it was great. We did what we had to do. Many years passed by, and things change. Things change in life, things change in business and all the rest of it. And we decided to as a company, we decided to part ways. And they're still going. Tony's pointing to something now. Hi, Dave. I received an email from you with information of your webpage. Is it yours, really? Yes. I'll tell you about that as well, Maria, in a second as well. But yes, I did send an email out yesterday. So if you didn't get an email from me, that means that you're either not on our database, or check your spam boxes and change the settings, because I sent an email to everybody yesterday as part of some of the things that we're going to be doing. Anyway, so yeah, we decided to change things, basically, to be able to help people in a different way. And this was during COVID times when we decided to start doing these live streams to try and create a community. And that's what we really want to get back to. We really want to get back to having the views on YouTube is fantastic. When people go on the 60-odd thousand, 70-odd thousand, 80-odd thousand, it's brilliant for the channel. It helps us fund the channel. It helps us buy equipment, and we're going to be buying more equipment and doing different things as well. And that's all fantastic. But for me, there's nothing better than these Thursday nights. And I know lots of people watch it afterwards. that's superb as well, because everybody hopefully is feeling part of something and feeling a little bit comfortable with something. And that's what it's all about. That's where we need to be. And what we noticed was when we set up the business and wanted to make it a bit more personal and a bit more saying to people, we can help you anywhere. And that's what that is what we want to do. Terry saying, how are you, Dave? Terry and Brady saying, hello from a wet island. Great couple, hilarious couple. This day, last week, we were coming back from Pacentro on the tour. We just want to be back there again. It's a shame that you're not back. I'm getting emotional now. It is great meeting all these people. I know I'm going to get sidetracked again, but yeah, no, it is fantastic. No, it was brilliant to meet you guys as well. Okay, so back to where I was. So we thought that we could help everybody because that's what we want to do. Gary's plugging his radio station, jfsr.co.uk, and he's got the perfect face for radio as well. He has. Great guy. Listen to him. I think he's on a Sunday morning somewhere else. There's a little plug. There you go. I've done it again for you, Gary. A little plug. So yeah, we decided to set up this business and go down one way. And within the first 6 months, things were going excellent, and the webinars, everything else were going great. And then people were asking us to help them buy properties in different parts of Italy. We'd gone to Siena, we'd gone near Milan, we'd gone into Puglia. Fantastic. And that's what we wanted to do. Then something happened on YouTube. It was one of the first property videos. I've had my YouTube channel for I don't know how long. And it hung around 700 to 800 subscribers. Then all of a sudden, one day, looked at my email, my inbox. Clearly something had happened, and one of the videos, it didn't go viral, because viral I think is millions of views, but I'd gone from the average of 500-600 views to all of a sudden this particular video was 20,000 within a few days, 30,000, 40,000, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Since then, things have changed. Things have changed, and things, not just, I think life in general has changed. You know, even now, we're talking now about moving to Italy or buying properties in Italy with all this craziness that's going on in the world. But we have to keep going. We have to keep talking about, you know, things like this, because if not, we would all go crazy. But something changed in a big way, and the business changed in a big way. And I think then the message has sort of been lost along the way slightly of what we do, how we can help you, and all the rest, because we do get involved in these Thursday nights and everything else, and then we get involved in the videos, the video properties and everything else. And I think sometimes people think they're missing out on things, and then they think, well, what does he actually do? He's putting properties on YouTube. By the time I email him, that property's already gone, and so on and so on and so on. And it actually creates, the vast majority of people are happy with everything that we do, but then you'll get a small minority that give negative comments, as people do. Usually I ignore that, but there's also another minority that give negative comments, but in a way that they want to help, and they want things to change as a business. And we feel now we're going through basic changes that maybe I should have done before. And I need your input to do this, because there's so many people out there that are saying, look, we're good to go, we're ready to go. And I may have been given the impression in the past, not through Thursday nights, but through maybe the YouTube channel and everything else, that there's a select few, because the video properties go on there and they disappear because they get sold quickly, and the rest are just people just sort of left hanging along. And we want to change that. We really do want to change that. We also understand we can't help everybody, and we need to tell everybody we can't help everybody, and we need to tell everybody that we can't necessarily do all the things that lots of you want us to do. There's lots of people that want to connect to me on Zoom or that kind of thing. I get so many emails every day saying, can we connect to you on Zoom? And it sounds horrible. This is what I was saying to Tony before we started tonight. If I was watching this now, I'd probably be one of those sat there saying, who does he think he is? You know, you haven't got time for this, you haven't got time for that. We genuinely haven't. Our business has grown in this way because myself and my wife run this, and we feel we run things very well. And we have lots of clients that obviously agree with that as well. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the clients that we do. But we just cannot handle sort of loads of Zoom meetings because it just would be impossible to do, because it's sort of every Zoom meeting will take 45 minutes to an hour. I get at least up to 10 to 15 people every day that email to say, I want to contact you. And I know it's fantastic and I would love to speak to all these people. But you get people on different time zones, often from the US, so they're not available while afternoons. And if I sort of did 10 per day, I wouldn't have any time to do anything else. And I know, again, some people may say, get some staff or do the rest, but then I'm going to be palming people off to speak to somebody else that they want to speak to me. And this is why we want to, Simon Chowday, Rima, 2 years to the day that you showed us our stunning house. another great bunch. In fact, we might get you guys back on, Simon, to have another chat 2 years later. But yeah, it's sort of, Ron, that's really nice of you to say that with the Home in Italy group. You're unparalleled in your trade because of the kind of relationship we want to have with you guys. But now we need to start streamlining it. These Thursday nights will always will carry on for as long as I possibly can. That goes, and they will always be free and they will always be open for everybody to join. But what we have noticed now, since some of the things with the YouTube, that there is people at different stages, and everybody. This is Domenico. Domenico has just put a message on. Domenico is a guy I work with in Sulmona. Can't believe he's sat watching again. Anyway, where was I? We need to now be able to cater for different people at different stages, and I want to go through some of the ideas that I've got, how we're going to actually change the website to reflect the different kind of things that we want to do for people at different stages. So I do want to talk a little bit about the YouTube channel, because people do seem to get a little bit frustrated that properties do sell quite quickly. And I think lots of people think that if they miss out on a property on Saturday, that's the end of the world. The channel that we have, the properties, the video properties that we put out every Saturday, we do it at the same time, Saturday at 3 p.m. We deal with inquiries in time. Whoever inquires, first gets the information. That sounds horrible to say, not gets the information, but we deal with people that are looking to remote buy, because there's quite a lot of people that want to remote buy. And I know not everybody's at that stage, but I think people think that the properties that go on there, that's it. Once they've gone, they've gone. How am I going to get in there? This is no good. I'm missing out on this. You're not missing out on anything, because I physically do not have the time to video all the properties that we have available. Domenico over in Sulmona, was the estate agent I deal with a lot with in Sulmona, is finding properties all the time. The tour group that we had last week, the ones that we have next week will be seeing things. They'll see some of the same things, but they'll also be seeing new things that the guys last week didn't see. So the video properties are just a snap of certain property of a group of properties, and then once that's gone, the following day there'll be others, and people need to understand that you're not missing out on something. But in the same breath, you'll get people that are ready to remote buy because they want to do it now. But if you're not in that section of people, if you like, there's no need to stress out about it. There's no need to think, he's only dealing with them or he's not, because that's not the way it is at all. And there's something for everybody. I couldn't physically, if you put too many properties on YouTube doing these property tours too often, it wouldn't be good for the channel. It wouldn't allow the channel to grow. It wouldn't allow the subscribers, because if you're putting videos on every 2 or 3 days, that's not the way to do it. So we stick to one per week. But there's loads of properties that could go on there. I could do a property every day. I haven't got the time, and I haven't, I wouldn't do it for the channel either. So for you guys that are not ready yet to buy, that are not ready to make that move straight away, there's loads of things for you as well. And we just need to get this group together where everybody understands that we're here for people of all stages. There's lots of products that we're thinking about doing. Some are going to be paid for, and I'm going to tell you all about them tonight. But the basic core business will always be free. And for me, the basic core of this business at the moment are these what we do on a Thursday night. And I will also say the tours, because they are very personal, because obviously we're all together. And they're the two things, you know, that, but as far as the free side, as far, because I don't want people sort of watching this and thinking he's gearing all this up now just to say that he's going to be doing this in future. No, these will carry on the way they are, because I love doing them and I love the support, you know, that we get in. The numbers are rising weekly, which is fantastic, and it's, you know, it's everything that we wanted to be. So just quickly, I just wanted to show you something on YouTube that I changed yesterday. I should have done it ages ago because it's such a simple thing. But I looked into it yesterday and thought if I realized it was that early, I would have done it ages ago. I'm going to show you just one little change on YouTube, and also tell you that on our website, I am way big, and people are going to laugh, and Tone is going to start putting his little laughing voices on now. I know he is. And I know I said that I was changing the website for the end of September, and it's not happened. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. And see, I'm being honest with you guys. I've got a number of new properties that need to go on. They've got to get on there, and they will go on there. But I need to incorporate it with these other changes that we want to do. But what I have done on our website is properties that are sold, it says sold. Unfortunately, the software I've got, it only says sold when you go into it, I think. But when you click on the property, you will see near the price whether it's available or if it's sold. So that you will see. What I've also done, I'm going to share this on the screen. When you go onto our YouTube channel, let me just get this so I can actually see it. Hopefully everybody can see this. When you go onto the YouTube channel, here you've got the home, the videos, the shorts, the live, and playlists. These are really important things that people sometimes miss. So first of all, homepage has a little bit of everything, a bit of a mix of shorts and all the rest of it. Videos are literally all the property video, any video that we may do, including, well, any the videos that we upload, if you like. Then we have live. If you click on live, every single part, I mean, there's some things in there from when we're on the tour, and then there's every single webinar that we've done on a Thursday night is all here, all in this section. It doesn't show up on the videos. It shows up on the live section. Now, there is no adverts, or there shouldn't be any adverts on any of these, because I've turned that off for these live videos, simply because they're long videos, and for people to sit through adverts as well, it would drive me insane. Obviously, there's adverts on the other videos. That's what helps the channel. So everything is under here. So all the past streams that we've done, as you can see, are all here. So you can go back and you see as many of those as you like. Some of them have got some strange lighting from the early days, but anyway, there you go. And then we've got, more importantly, playlists. If you go to playlists, when you click on playlists, here you've got sold properties and available properties. So you can clearly see, sometimes it's great to see the sold properties as well, just so you get an idea of what people have always been, you know, what people have been looking at and all the rest of it. And it's still great to see different properties, what they're like on the inside and all the rest of it. Then you've got the ones that are still available. So if you click then on the view full playlist, you click on that, opens up a new page, and here are all the properties that are still available. Even though there's a couple of them that are not under offer yet, but they're getting close. But these are all the ones that are still available. So that's what it's a simple thing that we've done on the website. Let me just get back to me now, get rid of that. Let me turn that off. It's a simple thing, but it's just a way that you can see what's available, and we're going to do that. Kim saying, can you include a description of the house descriptions in a live stream, i.e. terrace, semi-detached, duplex, etc.? In a live stream, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Kim, but when we do the videos, yeah, I am going to start and put a section probably that people can pause, and then you can have a look at the better descriptions of the properties, because I know people like to see like to see sort of descriptions of square meters and all that kind of thing. I don't do that at the moment, but I will. That will be something I'm gonna do. But the idea is the website's going to get updated much more, and that's going to be where you get a lot more of the information. Now, the idea of the property videos was obviously to help you get to know the area, to get to know the kind of properties and all the rest of it. But as I say, they do tend to sell really quick, which is fantastic. It's fantastic for us. But you should never, ever feel left out. And people do contact me and say, you know, some people even think it's a con, you know, which is quite sad, because we do try and do everything possible so people realize that, you know, we try and do things as fair as possible. It has to be on a first come, first serve. But please don't think that that's it. So if you're coming out viewing properties with us outside of the tours, or when you come on the tours, it's not that we don't show you anything, because there's loads of things to see. There really is. So there's something for everybody. And we need to be a little bit more honest with each other, if you like, to say, look, if you're not ready yet, there's no point getting upset if there's properties on there that you love, because that's the nature of the beast. We're excited about doing something. Then you think, oh, if I would just been ready, I would have got that and all that. You should not, you need to stop feeling like that, because it is not, it's just not like that at all. So now what we thought is, on the website, we're going to have 3 different sections. So let me just get this, just so I can show you. Okay, so I've written here, it's as simple as ABC, which it is. And what I want to do on the website now is get to the point where we start to segregate people, not because I'm going to think more about one than the other, not at all. So there's going to be different sections on the website. There's going to be the A section, if they like. So this is for people that's in the earliest stage of thinking about buying a property in Italy. They have no idea about the process. Maybe you've never even seen, you know, some of the people that's new on tonight from CNN, from the CNN publicity, that have maybe never even thought about Italy, don't know, no idea what I'm talking about when we're saying how great a place Sulmona is and how beautiful Abruzzo is and all the rest of it. You've no idea if we can help you in other areas, if we only do Abruzzo, all of that. You haven't got the faintest idea, and you don't really know where to start. These are the kind of people that usually send me emails, which is fine. These are the people that want to make contact, and I get that, I really do. But my contact at the moment has to be these Thursday nights. We need to use these Thursday nights better. When we do the open Q&A sessions, which we're going to do those every month now, we decided there's going to be one every month. Therefore, people like you to then come on and say, look, Dave, this is what we're thinking about doing. You know, how can we do it? Because some of the conversations that I have with people right at the beginning, I understand they want to make that contact because it's important. But I really do feel that these Thursday nights are the key. And unfortunately, I just can't organize the Zoom meetings for everybody. I just can't do it. I hate to say it. I just can't do it. And I don't think any business could. I think, you know, you could contact any agent. If you get a response from them, you know, that's one thing. But unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. But in the A section of the website, there's going to be videos specific to you. They're going to be short videos, that quick explainer videos. For instance, some people was asking me about how currency, how things work when you're changing from dollar to euro. Somebody asked me. Now, obviously, that would take, for me to respond to that on email, would take me so long because it's so in depth. So then I can point you to a webinar, to a past live stream, and then you will say, well, Dave, I've got a simple question for you, but you want me to watch an hour and 15 minutes of you talking away, and I don't really want to. Will you answer my email? I also get that. I'm just trying to be honest to say to you guys, rather than ignoring the emails, I want to be able to say, look, go here. And within that section, then there's going to be short videos, 2 or 3 minutes, quick explainer videos that are going to last no time, and then a link to say, go and see these videos to get to know. If you've no idea what this place Abruzzo is, I'll give you a quick thing about it on 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe you've never been here before, and then I'll guide you to some of the past past live streams. That's how we want to do it. Then you've still got, what you will have is an updated, don't laugh, an updated website with all the properties on that are available. You're going to have those that you can view, and then you're always going to have these Thursday nights, because that will never change. This is what's going to happen. And that way, then hopefully you're going to sort of feel part of the club, even if you're at this A stage. The B stage is the one that these people tend to come out on the tours. Maybe they've been to Italy before. They're quite sure that they want to buy something, but maybe they haven't got the courage to do the remote buying. They really need the kind of people that need to come out and see it. They completely understand that. We don't just do remote buying, even though I would say over 80% is remote buying, possibly more. But also part of those remote buyers are the ones that have been out, seen a property they love, gone back to their country, and then left it with us to deal with. So this is going to be another section that, you know, like I said, the tours are going to be great for these people. And the tours are probably going to be good for the A people as well. But the B people, the ones that are, you know, maybe just that next level of thinking, yes, we're definitely going to do that. The tours are superb. Yes, they're paid for. You don't have to do that. You can come and look around Abruzzo yourself with no problem at all. But they're a great thing to do. And then see the I'm ready. I've written my I'm chomping at the bit. I don't know if that's used all around the world. I don't need to come over to view it. I'm ready to remote purchase. Just find me the perfect place. Then there's places for them, because there's the video channel for them. And that's where the vast majority of those people will go to. So we're trying to create it so we've got different things for different people at different stages. And that's the key thing for me, is to find which stage that you're actually at. Then what we're going to do, we're going to go on to some paid for things. If people are interested, again, I want to really make it clear that that is not where our business is heading, but we feel that we need to be able to offer other things for certain people. So no matter which category you're in, there's always a free section, always. What we're going to do, we're going to run this possibly with Patreon or somebody like that, where not just asking for money for people, not just saying, you know, buy me a coffee or do whatever, anything like that. Obviously, funds to help the channel are always welcome, but we're going to give some products for that. I'm just going to answer Susan saying, therefore, next week for the door. I didn't get an email. Susan, tomorrow everybody's going to, because everybody sent me their details with your telephone numbers and all that kind of stuff. I'm creating the WhatsApp group tomorrow for next week's tour. I'll be in touch with absolutely everybody, and then I've got a short video that I'll send to everybody as well, so everybody knows what's going off for next week's tour. So don't worry, anybody that's booked on next week's tour, WhatsApp group will be up and running tomorrow, because everybody has answered previous emails to me to give WhatsApp details, and then the video will come to you as well. So don't worry, everybody's booked in, it's all ready to go. So yeah, so we're going to be doing something with Patreon. Patreon is, for those of you who don't know, it's the idea is that you go onto there, you do pay something per month. We're going to have two tiers on this. There's going to be one that's just over €2 per week, and there's going to be one that's just over €3 per week. Why are we doing that? I can hear you say. So there's going to be one tier where people can join a new forum that we're going to do that's going to be within the website. Now, some people have said to me, or when we were thrashing this out between the two of us, me and my wife were talking about how we should do it. Some people said, well, the forum should be open for everybody. These are the open for everybody's. These Thursday nights. The forum, what we're trying to do on there is not turn it into another one of these, or not turn it into another Facebook page or everything else. They need to be a little bit more directed. You don't have to join. You don't have to be part of it. There's as I said, there's plenty without joining that. But for somebody that does want that little bit of extra and wants to be part of something else as well, because maybe the interest is going a little bit further, there's going to be a section for that. And as I say, that's worked out at just over €2 per week. So we're not doing this to make money out of it, especially when the Italian taxman takes his money, and Patreon, they like to charge as well. So this is not about that. It's about freeing up somebody to have the time to be able to put these things in place. Then there's going to be another tier, which, sorry, part of the first tier as well, there's going to be some background photographs and things while we're out and about that will appear on Patreon. So you'll get that, you'll get a forum, and there'll be one Zoom call per month, not a personal Zoom call. It will be something similar to this kind of setup, but obviously we will all be on the screen. So people could do that. That will be happening once a month. There'll be another tour, another tier that's just over €3 per week, and that's going to be for people that are ready to go, people that are ready to go now, that want to buy now. And what's happening is we're getting some people that are saying we like these properties and we're missing out on them, and other people saying, you know, we're ready to buy now, and they're left waiting while we deal with other people that just want to buy straight away. And the guy that was just on then, can you put that one back on again? I think it was Scott. Got himself a brilliant property. We're in the C group, and Dave has been awesome. They've got themselves a superb property. But again, not everybody wants to do the remote buying. So the thing is, the reason why we've done these extra tiers, the idea is with the top tier is that, not the top tier, I hate saying that, I was promising myself not to, the C group, if you like, is that they will get slightly quicker access to property videos. That's the idea of this. And the reason for that, because I can hear now people say, well, that's not fair. It's not to not be fair. It's to try and get to the people at the stage they're at. Because at the end of the day, if you're not, I've said this earlier, if you're not ready to remote buy yet, you know, or you wouldn't even dream of remote buying, that's fine. There's loads of things for you. But for those that do want to remote buy and want to jump on things quicker, we need to address that as well. The reason why I'm doing this long video that people are probably, I mean, people are staying in, so they must be finding it interesting. But I'll read this in a second, Tony. Tony, every now and then, Tony's pointing as if to say, read this one, read this one. But it's important that we hit people at the right stage. One of your YouTube problems is that the viewer feels a personal one-to-one contact with the host and does not consider that 35K other feel the same connection. And I completely agree with you. I'm just trying to get that last part. The viewer feels a personal one-to-one contact with the host and does not consider 35K that feel the same connection. I understand the personal thing. I really do. And I wish I had another way of doing it. But what I keep saying to myself is these things, these Thursday nights are where we can get as personal as problem, because as much as I would love to speak to everybody, I just can't. And that's the reality of it. And apart from getting a team of telesales, you know, that's going to be answering and just giving you standard everyday sort of answers to everything, you know, is just not, for me, is not the way to do this. And people could say, well, you need to cut back, then you need to do this, you need to do the other. I don't think you could ever handle, even if there's a smaller amount of, I could never, if you think about your own working day and that kind of thing, if you had 10 Zoom calls per day to fit in, that's going to take anywhere between 45 to an hour, you just can't physically do it. And especially because I like to go out and see the properties. I do the video the properties as well. There's lots of other things that's going off. And then obviously we have to have people that are getting ready for to buy and that kind of thing. So getting ready to do the final act, where you're obviously you're spending more time with them on the telephone. What I don't want you to, Jamie's saying, I'm on B, but frustrated with the rudeness of the Italian consulate in Chicago. You know, I've heard a few people talking about Chicago. Don't know what's going off there. But it was actually better. No, it wasn't better during COVID, but the consulate seemed to be allowing things to go through much quicker. But I have heard a number of people talking about Chicago. Maybe there should be some letters going in from a large amount of people to complain about it. But anyway, so yeah, so this is the stage that we're at now. I'm the personal thing I love. When do you get to speak to me? And this is, again, it sounds awful saying this, because I really can imagine people, Tony's laughing now, you know, because I can imagine people sat there saying, who does he think he is? I would be one of those people saying it. And I don't mean to come across this way. Hopefully these Thursday night justifies why I can speak like this. When you get to speak to me is, I can't always, people that come outside of the tours, that come to view properties, lots of people go with Domenico. Some people have been with Tony. There's been a number of because I can't always make the viewing properties, but you always view the properties. There's no question about that, and we the service is still great. People that have been going with Domenico, everybody said fantastic guy and all the rest of it, and I'm still here on the phone. I can't guarantee that outside of the tours that I will be the one taking you around, but again, that's like any other person that's showing properties. You just can't sort of definitely guarantee who's doing what. Debbie's saying, are you a real estate agent? No, I'm not a real estate agent. No, and the contract writing up is all done by a notary. So Debbie, again, and I can see you've got so many questions, and that's perfect. And I know that when I put you to the right part of this new website, you're going to get all of those answered. You're going to get all the prices that we charge. You're going to understand what we do and the reason why we're not estate agents, because this for us is the best way for us to trade. We deal with registered estate agents, very few, because I'm very picky. In fact, to be honest with you, there's probably three main one. Domenico's the main one. Then there's Claudio in a local area, and then there's another one that I deal with quite a lot. Anyway, so when you get to speak to me, the tours I'm always on. That's 100%. The moment then, let's say you come out, I answer the emails. My wife does sometimes. They answer the emails. I answer lots of emails. So that's some sort of contact. Once you've been out to see the property, so either on tours or seeing them yourself, if there's anything of any interest, that's when we're working together straight away. We're on WhatsApp, we're on telephone calls between me and you, because it needs to be like that, because you're looking to buy, you need the support of buying a property. We can't farm that out to somebody else. We just can't. It's such an important stage, and it's what me and my wife do best, is that part. And we work with our geometer, who is fantastic. We work with the agents that the main agents that we work with, who we trust implicitly, and they do not charge you anything, which is fantastic. Jamie's saying we need a Codis Fiscal to put a deposit down on a house. Correct. Not really, but Codis Fiscals will get that. So don't worry about that, Jamie. We can get you Codis Fiscal. That's not. I know you're coming out soon. It's not. That's not a big deal. But yeah. But when it comes to the stage then of moving to the next stage, you're thinking about giving an offer to these people, to the owners. It's getting to that stage. Obviously, we are with you all the way through. So we're constantly there. We look after everything. We're there at the notary's office, whether you're with us or whether we're your power of attorney. We look after everything. Things like tax code. Obviously, Jamie, as I know Jamie now, we've been speaking. She's coming out really soon, and we've got people. I can imagine that Jamie will be thinking, okay, I need this Codis Fiscal, and sort of thinking, now she's written awesome big relief there, because that will be on her mind. Obviously, what I want to say to Jamie, I want to say to everybody else, is we have everything in place to look after everything. So even though I can understand the personal thing of saying, I need to speak to you just to make sure you can do this, this, and this, we have everything in place. The only thing that we're really struggling, no, the two things, one that we can't help you with, one that we're struggling to help with, but I think I may have a contact that I've seen on one of my Facebook groups that I'm going to contact really soon. And that's a mortgage. Getting mortgages, very, very difficult. Even though, as I say, on one of my Facebook groups, somebody just come on advertising saying that they can help. So I'm going to be getting in touch with him. The other thing I can't help with is when it comes to what requirements are needed to get a visa and getting your visa, because that is all done through your Italian consulate, your local Italian consulate. So they're saying the visa scares you. Contact the Italian. I know they can be ignorant, I know, but unfortunately, they're the ones that do all that kind of thing. Having said all of that, and I don't always agree with it, there are some lawyer, I'm going to say friends now, because I have been contacting them just to see if we can do something together. Because what I don't want to do is push too many professionals towards you where it's costing you a fortune to do everything. Wherever we can, we'll give you the advice to take it as far as you can. But some of these lawyers may come handy when it comes to dealing with the consulates, because they have a different way of doing things. So again, I'm looking to try and get these professionals on board as well, not only for on a Thursday night, but make them part of this new forum that I'm talking about as well, because I really want to try and create this community where you know that we've got everything under control. And I do think it is my fault and I will take the blame for it, because I've not changed the site to reflect that. But what I'm saying to all of you is we can look after everything from the beginning to the end, at the notary's office, after the notary's office, even changing your water, your electric, everything else, getting it set up into a direct debit out of your bank account, or get you set. So we do the whole thing. You don't have to worry about that at all. All you need to do is be honest with yourself to say at what stage you're at. Think about the things that, don't get stressed out when the video property goes. Don't think, oh, that's another one that's gone, I have no chance, he's got nothing for me, I'll go somewhere else. It's not like that at all. Those of you who are ready to buy and ready to jump on the best thing, fantastic. That's the same. Doesn't matter whether you're in the A camp, the B camp, the C camp. None of it matters, because I know, hopefully, by creating this community like we've got tonight, which I've got to say, Tony, I think we've got the biggest number in tonight. He's putting his thumbs up, which is fantastic. And I know these things are expanded, but these will always be here for you. But until we get to that point where you understand me, and I'm not coming across as ignorant to say I haven't got time for you, because that's not true at all, and possibly understand that sometimes it can take me more than a day to respond to emails. I can sometimes be a little, I do everything that we can, and we do everything that we can. I need to get that across to you, because the more we create this community, the easier it's going to be for you, and then we can all move on together and get to the ultimate goal of buying you a property. Tammy's saying, so we have to find a property, make an offer, then apply for a tax ID. No, you can apply for a Codis Fiscal anytime you like. If you go to your local consulate, you can do it anytime you like. Or you can do everything afterwards, whichever. Don't stress out too much on it. Ron's great. He's another buying it. See, Ron's a great example of this, because when he came out to view, we went with Domenico. I'd spoken to him for a while beforehand, and unfortunately I couldn't then meet him, but he went with Domenico. We literally went to see a property on the Monday, and Ron and his wife came out on the, I think it was the Wednesday or Thursday or something like that, and fell in love with that property, and that was it. Now, that never made it to a video property, never made it on the website, never made it on Facebook or nothing. But, you know, that just shows that there's properties for everybody. You know, and like I said, the group from last week, the group from next week will see different properties to the group from last week, just because we're getting new properties all the time. David Umbrella, you're still on a learning curve. Your business is still expanding. It is true, but the thing is, it's just getting people into the right places, and I think that's important also for you, because if not, you can stress yourself out big style about things, because you will be thinking, like Jamie said shortly, what about the tax code? And then something else will pop into your head. You'll just be getting ready to nod off to go to sleep, and you'll think, oh my God, what about a bank account? And then the following night, you know, you'll have had a few glasses of Montepulciano d'Abruzzo and you'll not be interested in anything. But then the night after, then you'll suddenly think, what about this? Oh, what about paying the bills? What about? Don't stress out about it. Just don't stress out about it, because that's what we're here for. We do all of these things. All you've got to concentrate on now is keep in touch on these Thursdays, coming out here. I still strongly recommend the tours, but again, that's only 25 people each time. So I understand that not everybody is going to be able to get onto a tour. But still come out. That's not to say that we're not going to not show you any other properties. Of course, we're going to show you the other properties. Lots of them. There's plenty of things to. There's so many properties to show you. You don't ever have to worry about anything like that. Tony's waving this thing, and is I'm trying to read what is actually written on this. All right, services. So he writes these little one words, and I've got to try and interpret what is actually on about. Anyway, the list of services that we do, they also range from helping you in other areas as well. It's not just about coming here and sort of viewing properties around this area, around Abruzzo, even though I want everybody to come here because it's an amazing place. But for those of you who are outside, then obviously we have services to do things like that. To help you with I don't know if you're buying in Sicily or you're buying in wherever you're buying, we can assist in other places as well. We are trying to broaden our contacts. It's quite difficult because dealing with people remotely is not always easy. But there's somebody in La Marca that I'm really interested in because they're in the 7% tax range as well. Puglia is getting closer and closer all the time. So we are going to be adding other areas. Kevin saying, is it possible to get your reference for long-term rental? This is another thing. And Kevin, I mean, I do get asked this often, and it's Kevin saying, can we pay to have a call with you? And I really don't want that. Nobody has to pay me for a telephone call. The problem I've got, Kevin, is the time to make the calls. I don't want, the last thing I want to do is start charging people for telephone calls. I'd feel embarrassed myself. I just wouldn't do it. What I will say, Kevin, send me an email. What I can't answer by email, you know, I will do my best to try and get round to you. Again, it sounds awful, doesn't it? But I will answer whatever you've got. If you send me an email across, it's just the quickest way, because sometimes I'm answering emails while I'm sat waiting for wherever, or Silvana will be answering emails while she's sat doing whatever, or in between appointments, or whatever it is. Katie, again, the back reference, going back to the bank accounts and things like that. I'm glad people do watch these Thursday nights. Just remember, they are all recorded, so you can see them on the live section of YouTube. So you know you can look back at all of these things that some of you will have questions about. But I understand that you don't always. Robert, that's wine time. It's correct. I understand that people don't always want to sit through an hour's worth of videos just to find out a little bit of information. So yeah, so we have services for everybody. We know we cannot do everything for everybody. We know that's impossible. You know, that's not what we're in it for. We're just trying to get to that point where we can look after people in a better way than potentially than what we are doing now. So that's what I wanted tonight to be all about. I can't believe I've been rattling on about this for 56 minutes, but it was important to me to get this off my chest and to reach out to you guys to let me know how else we can help. Claire's saying, as a remote buyer, how do you share the info about possible properties that have not made it to video stage? Okay, Claire, so this is going to be, again, we will get the website up to date. That's something, and I'm waiting for Tony just to put the laughing on again. That's something and we put these the new website out there, which is, I'm hoping for mid-November. That's the time scale, but I'm saying up to the end of November, but I'm hoping for mid-November. There's going to be that, and then also there's going to be the extra thing that we're saying about Patreon, where there will be, for people that are ready to remote buy, there's going to be a little bits of extra things in there, sort of previews of things that's coming up, that kind of thing. Again, it's not that I don't want to show everybody else. Gary's saying that we could have visited more bars. This guy, Gary, last week, he know anything. If you want to know about bars in and around the Sulmona area or anywhere around these areas, Gary is your man. He will he visited everyone while we were walking around the towns. Anyway, completely lost where I was. Yeah, but there's going to be some new products for the remote buyers. And again, I don't want people to think that they have to pay this thing on Patreon to see these first, because I want to see them first. If you're not at that stage of remote buying, doesn't matter why. You don't need to. Not, you're still going to see them. Everybody sees everything. But if we're all at different stages, I need to recognize what stage you're at to make sure I give you the support needed at the stage you're at. And another Manette saying, Mom says hi, she loves it. Hi to Manette's mom. I know she's not being very well. Hopefully she's feeling a lot better, and that's nice, Manette. Thank you. Good to hear from you. That completely thrown me again. But yeah, no, to understand the position you're at. And another thing that I want to mention as well is that when you're coming out to view properties, it's happening less and less now, but when you're coming out to view properties, if you're just coming to look at the area, it's pointless saying, can we book to see some properties? I really believe that. this is again where we need to be honest with each other, because if you're saying to me, somebody sent me an email the other day, and luckily lots of people will write on it, and I appreciate it so much when people say, I'm on a scouting trip, I don't want you to think that I'm coming out to buy. And it's not then that I'm going to ignore that person, because I'm of the train of thought, and always have been in the 18 years that I've done this, that everything I'm doing now is an investment for the future, because I know everybody that's watching this at some point, well, a good percentage of you are going to come out at some point. I don't care when that is. If you come tomorrow to buy something, or you come next year to buy something, that's absolutely fine. You know, it really doesn't change anything. But people that are honest enough to say, I'm coming out and I'm just doing a scouting thing at the moment, I just want to see if you've got time to show me a couple of properties, that would be great. If not, can you? And that kind of email, the honesty there is brilliant, because we're not traveling around for hours and hours and hours and really just being tour guides. But also because I want to be able to give those people, and if you're at that stage and you're coming out soon and you don't really want to see properties yet, I want to be able to give you itineraries that you can do while you're here. I want to be able to say your time will be best spent here for a week doing this, and go and see these places. And while you're there, here's a great restaurant. Go and see, I don't know, this tourist attraction. Go and see that. While you're there, do this town, drive through that. That's how to do things, because then we've got this rapport together where you've been honest enough to say that. And Graham's saying, I watched your geography lesson. It was a bit like a geography lesson when I look back. Sorry about that. A couple of weeks ago, it was so valuable last week whilst driving around a Broodsaw. Saturday market in Sulmona was absolutely buzzing. We're sorry we couldn't meet for coffee, but totally understood. Currently the B planned to be C in February. Thank you for all you do. And I really appreciate things like that. Thank you, Graham. I really, really appreciate it. And it's great. Again, this sounds horrible. Graham said it'd be great to see you, just to have a coffee and all. I would love to have sat at a table in Sulmona while I was at the market and have a coffee. Of course, I would love to do that. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But to have the decency to tell me what he was doing, and you know, thankfully, the trip hopefully was success for him, and he saw what he wanted to see. And it's so important. It really is. That's why the tours are great. But also, if you're just coming out and doing it on your own, then just let me know. Let me know what you're planning on doing. And I'm planning on getting some, not charging for these, planning on getting some sort of itineraries printed up, just to say, look, do this. If you're here for this amount of time, go to these places. That is a much better use of your time, rather than then thinking, okay, well, I'll let them show me around a few properties. What's the point? You know, I don't really understand that. There's no point. It doesn't gain anything for you whatsoever. And it's much better to be honest for the relationship that we'll have in the future. You know, because I really do believe that that's the best way to do it. And thankfully, people, when they write emails to me, they do tell me this. They have the decency to say, look, this is what, but if you can give me a bit of advice of where to go, I love emails like that, because again, you know, we're starting the relationship on a good thing. Okay, guys, sorry that this has been a little bit of a different one this week. We'll have a bit of fun next week, next Tuesday with Barbara. Remember, it's Tuesday. It's not Thursday. It is Tuesday. Let me just have a quick look. Dave, read this one. Oh, it's Magdalena. She got herself a great property in Rhino as well. Dave, you know, I was ready with nothing but determination and exact number of euros in the account. Yeah, she was always, the money was there, I think, before anything else. DST team was absolutely amazing. So that I never felt treated differently, even though I bought a tiny place. That's another important thing. Thank you, Magdalena. That is really nice thing to say. And I'm sure Magdalena will not mind me saying, because she's written there, she bought a tiny place. It was a property of I'm not going to say the money, but it was a superb property, exactly what she wanted. And it was a low price entry level property. And she did exactly right to do what she did. Makes no difference what you spend. I'm not on a commission. I can't charge you. I'm not on a 3% and somebody's interested in a 200k property. Let's go and spend a bit more time with them. Somebody's interested in a million property. I can't charge you a commission because I'm not an estate agent. I charge you for services. and that's a huge difference. So whether it's a small budget that you've got, or whether it's 500,000, million, whatever it is, makes no difference to me. Wayne saying, how come your wife never makes appearance on here? Well said, Wayne. Hopefully she might be watching this, because she might be watching now. And I keep saying, that she says that I'm the one with the mouth, so which is probably true, and she's the one that does all the work. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me. Remember, next Tuesday, not next Thursday, next Tuesday, with Barbara, the famous Barbara from CNN, that was on CNN. That'll be a brilliant one, because she's a good laugh, great person, great story, great property. She lives here on her own. Let's see how she's done for her first year. Things like this as well are important, so you can get a good vibe. And remember, hopefully what you'll take from tonight, even though some of you will say, well, I've no idea what that live stream was about, but we enjoy it anyway. Well, that's fine as well. But what this is about is telling you what we want to do for you to get people at the stage that they're at. Be a bit more open about how we're trying to do business. Yes, we have our faults. I know that, especially when it comes to getting back to people in timely. We're trying to alter all of that and trying to get to the point where we can be much quicker in everything that we do and get things on the website and keep that up to date as well. And the important thing for us then is when people are buying a property, they get all the support they need and all the services they need to get to the end. And that's what we do. That's where our strengths are. It's just, without bringing up another excuse, and I'm so happy this has happened, but what has happened in the last year and the support you guys have given me has been quite overwhelming. And it's meant that we were going down one way thinking this was the right way to go, to suddenly have it completely flipped over, and we're still learning. But we're here for you. We can do everything that you need to do, and yeah, we're ready. We're good to. We can't wait to hear from you. So there you go. That's tonight's finished with. Next week, a bit more fun, and then November I'll put a program of some of the serious legal stuff that we've got to do, mixed with bits of fun and all the rest of it. Okay, guys, thank you so much again for your patience. I really appreciate it. I do hope that I didn't think that was a waste of time. I've got off my chest what I wanted to get off, and hopefully we're going to make things a lot better moving forward. Thank you so much for your support, as per usual, and we'll see you again next Tuesday, not Thursday, next Tuesday, the 24th, I think it is. Anyway, next Tuesday, same time, with Barbara from Texas. Thank you so much.